Hello everyone, this is me Mushkan Singhwali. I am 11 years old, level 1 student at Hans Clown Academy. So, I welcome you all to my interview, and today we are going to do an inspiring conversation. And we are going to today, honorably, we have a powerful coach with us. So, she is, and she is she helps someone, a woman, heal and rise, and she rebuild their solutions. So let's welcome her in our interview. Hello, and how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. I'm very happy to be part of your podcast.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. I really love. So, first of all, can you introduce yourself so someone can, so if someone don't know about you, so they can know.
Yeah, I am a life coach. My specialization or my niche is toxic relationships or mainly relationships. So that's involving relationships and living a relationship and living a life after a relationship and manifesting and this life after abuse. I'm also a mother for three girls. I have a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old. They're all girls. So women and their rights and their living style matters a lot to me because of my three daughters. So that's why I'm quite passionate about what I'm doing at the moment.
Mm. Okay, so my first question to you is that what is the first sign that a relationship is becoming toxic? Toxic. Sorry.
Okay, the first or the couple of signs, they're like red flags, we call them. You feel very insecure in that relationship. It's like you're walking on eggshells. You're not sure whether to say this or not to say that because it's always double guessing or double thinking. And sometimes you feel that in your body too. Sometimes the body actually says a lot of things before even we catch up from the mind. You feel like your stomach area and your chest, there's a tightening, or there's like nauseous feeling, or general overall feeling of like not well, or anxious anxiety. um, those are like body feelings. But then if you look outside of that in the relationship, you do get things like that you are constantly being either monitored or being questioned or controlled. The abuse, we call it. It's either emotional or psychological or financial or physical or verbal or even all of them. Those are like the signs to know that the relationship generally is not a safe relationship.
Oh wow, that's really great to hear about it. That was a really good answer. Thank you so much for sharing with me. My next question is that why do many people stay in toxic relationships for
I
so long?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I think they don't know that they're in a toxic relationship. They don't know a relationship can be called a toxic one. That's because they have probably been conditioned to put up with the environment that they're feeling from their young age. So, for example, I will give you my example. When I was young, when I was a child, my conditioning was to please people and be submissive and to listen to them. And that conditioning has carried to the adulthood. And when I'm in the marriage or when I'm with that partner, ex partner, I thought these things, the controlling and pleasing, being submissive, all of these are things that I am normally used to do and which I was continuing, but that was actually a not a healthy relationship. So what happens is the people who don't pick up these things are already conditioned from their young age. And that's why they don't know what kind of a relationship. So it goes back to your childhood. The problem starts there.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for giving me the answer. I really love it. Okay. Now my next question with you is that what emotional what emotional words do toxic relationships usually create?
What emotions they create anxiety, they create scare, fear, anger, sadness, grief. There's all the lower vibrations are there in if you're in that kind of a relationship, mostly scared and mostly fear and sadness. There's lots of lower vibrations that it creates in that relationship.
Hmm. Okay, you're right. Thank you so much for sharing with me. So, now my next question with you is that how can someone recognize manipulation early?
How can someone recognize manipulation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So early on, it's very hard that you're being manipulated because it's very subtle and it's very covert, it's very hidden, and it's very quiet. But over time, you're actually picking up some of the clues and everything. Um, for example, it could be things like, um, I'll give you a general example. Um, it could be things like you are asked to do everything you have. So for example, if you're doing a part-time work and you have a child, and then your partner, who's the abusive partner, asks you to stay home and look after the child and do part-time work, right? And then over
Hmm.
time, he also tries to kind of say things here and there about the income you're bringing and then the expenses and everything. And then slowly try to put comments to you about the amount of money you earn and things like that. So trying to make you to return back to full-time work. So they're
Hmm.
all very hidden and a very subtle way that happens. It's mostly psychological. When you're in it, it's like you're inside a fish tank. You don't figure out this is what's happening. You always like you're in the highs and the lows of your because your nervous system is like really getting into it. It has no time to even sit back or step back and realize this is what's happening to you. It's mostly awareness that you need. Because of the awareness is not there, you're actually getting into and you're actually in that situation because of not having the awareness, and it's very hard.
Hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much. You're right. So, now my next question to you is that what is the difference between a toxic partner and a difficult partner?
A difficult partner and a toxic partner, that's a good question. I would say a toxic traits are always very much like a it's always there. It is always
Hmm.
there, as in it goes in a cycle. First they're very good to you, and when you trust them they do all the abuse to you, and then they actually have another period where they actually give you lots of compliments, gifts and loving, showering you with love, and then the cycle repeats again back to abuse. So it goes in a cycle. So the toxic partner is someone who continuously do that. continuously go on in the cycle. It's like a hamster wheel. I'd
Hmm.
say a difficult partner, if it's not toxic, difficult person would be hopefully saying that they don't follow the same toxic cycle. Could be someone emotionally maybe not very mature. That could be a sign of difficulty. Um, that's probably coming from their emotional maturity. They don't actually then follow that kind of a same pattern, but there's a degree of difficulty in them when you come to deal with them emotionally. So does that make sense? Is that
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Okay.
don't
Thank
follow
you.
the same abusive pattern as a toxic person?
Yeah. Thank you so much. You give such a great answer. I really love that.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. And now my next question with you is, how does a toxic relationship affect self esteem?
How does a toxic relationship affect self, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it affects so much in so many degree or levels. Your self-esteem, it's eroded, like it's erased. And your independence, it's taken away from you because of control. You are trained to be codependent or dependent on them, because if you're independent you can always walk out of the relationship, there's no problems. But then things are in the way, like children, not having enough money, not knowing how to restart the life, so many things. Sometimes some women, even if they earn money, they have to put it into joint accounts, and partner has the control of the joint account, so they have no control whatsoever for financially. So it affects you financially, psychologically, and for your health. It affects you very much with your physical health, because sometimes you can't sleep. Sometimes there's repeating thoughts going again and again in your mind, which really makes it harder for you to concentrate at work or do one thing at one time, or to be concentrating on the children. So there's so many physical issues, so many psychological issues, and so many other issues like financial and those things that comes into play. That's how it affects you, not just one area. Affects in holistically in so many areas.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for sharing with me such a great answer. So, my next question with you is that what biological partners pull women toward toxic partners?
Can you repeat that again, if that's okay? So, what biological?
I'm saying what biological partners pull human toward toxic partners.
When you say biological partners, what did you mean by the biological partner?
No, I'm saying that what biological partners pull human toward toxic partners.
Toxic partners are they are they never, even if you ask them for to take therapy to fix the marriage, that's not something that you would there's no way to move forward with them. They will participate in that kind of activities, not like another partner. They will, but then during the therapy sessions, even they try and sabotage it. Or so with the toxic partners, it's a very bumpy ride. So it's not always abuse with them. Remember, that's the most important thing. People think it's always abuse, but they have a like a cycle, very much like a circle that it goes. So unlike a normal or a different relationship,
Hmm.
very intense. That's the word. It's very intense
Yeah.
because the abuse is intense and their love is also intense, and you really get confused what's happening. One time you're thinking it's I want to leave, but then after incident happens, They come and they shower you with love and gifts and everything, holidays and everything. And you're completely turning the other way, thinking, no, I should be staying. Maybe my mind is going too much. That's the confusion. They keep you stuck. That's like a signature hallmark of a toxic relationship.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for sharing with me and such a great answer. So my next question is what my question is that what role does fear play in staying in unhealthy relationship?
I think it's a very good question for any age person, man or woman. If you are in a abusive relationship, fear plays a big role. Fear is the one keep you trapped in that relationship. Fear is the one, in my case, fear is the one that led me trapped for years. Even when medical, like doctors and everyone was saying to me, you need to leave, it's not safe. Fear was one reason that kept me there because I was afraid of leaving
Hmm.
and building a life because I completely lost my self-esteem. There was no way of having financial freedom or financial independence. I think fear plays a very big role. It's like a terror barrier, I would call it. But then what you need to do is you have to take the leap because everything you want is outside that terror barrier in that toxic relationship because that's where the freedom is. If you are scared, if you stay, if you delay, you won't find that freedom sooner. You might probably get more and more stuck into a mud.
Hmm. Yeah, you are right. Thank you so much for sharing with me. So now my next question will be that how does guilt keep human trapped?
Can you repeat the question again? How does
How does guilt keep human trapped?
in
Sorry,
toxic relationships?
I'm saying that how does um, guilt human sorry keep women trapped?
I think it's to play a part if you're a mother, if you have children. I will take my example. Guilt has been a big thing because I was thinking, well, if you leave, you can't give them the life that they are already experiencing. And I thought that's something um, that's going to play a big role in their life for pulling them away. And also, I thought guilt, in a way, as a wife, I am doing the wrong thing, or because building a life with someone and then leaving like that. So, guilt plays a massive role alongside with the fear, especially when
Hmm.
with children. Um, it is more to do with that current life you compare or think about the current life and you think about the life that you're not even like you don't even know, you don't even see, you can't even see. That's where it comes with the fear.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for sharing with me. So now my next question with you is that what is the first step to breaking the cycle of toxicity?
I think the first step is understanding that I'm in a toxic relationship and then my life is actually at danger and my children's life is at danger. That awareness, when that hits your head for the first time, I think that's the first step to breaking it or jumping that terror barrier. Without that
Hmm.
awareness, I didn't have that awareness for a long time because guilt and fear taken me over. So as soon as it hit that, it comes to
Okay.
a certain time that you really need it, you have to leave, because your body is also having and giving you lots of symptoms like discomfort. So so that's like the first couple of steps, I think, your awareness and the body symptoms that's coming, saying it's time to leave.
Oh, what did you say in last?
Saying it's the time to leave, saying it's the right time to leave.
Okay, so can I ask you two more, one more question, then you can leave.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question to you is that what are red flags people should never ignore?
I think the red flag that they should not ignore is your the I think it's the fear, the scare, um, walking on eggshells because you're very unsure in that relationship. You're always questioning, double thinking because you're being controlled and all that. The red flag is that you're unsure, you're walking on eggshells. That's probably because in a normal relationship you don't have to think. It's just like autopilot. You don't need to be. You don't need to actually double think.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing with me. Really loved it. So yeah. So now let me ask. Now let's end our interview. So thank you so much for being with us. Really love your presence and love is. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm humbled to be part of your podcast, and thank you so much for interviewing me and sending me an invitation.
And thank you
You've
so
done
much
well.
for coming in my interview.
No worries. You have a good day.
You also have a good day. Love is.
Bye bye.